Okay, here we are. Welcome, YouTube, to another Theater Crude thing. I am joined today by Lauren and Elise of Co.llective Arts Productions down in Norman. And they are here to talk about Palo Verde and also give us a little retrospective on their second full season. This was your second season this year? Okay, great.
Yes.
Glad I didn't miss anything. All
Perfect.
right. So first off, why don't you tell us about Palo Verde? That's coming up very soon.
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Sure. This was a musical that's been in development for almost 7 years, but it's newer to us. An OU drama grad that started co-arts with us has been working as a dramaturg and developing the script with Anne Hines and Marissa Garcia and Raul Pune, and they're from all over the country. And so it made sense as Oklahoma in its central position to house it, and then co-arts kind of came in to make all of that come together and bring actors and a place to do it. So the main goal is to get a recording of it, and to workshop the piece and have people come see it and tell us what they think. It's free. It's at the Sooner Theater.
Beautiful theater. It's the first time we've been in an actual theater space. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
pretty.
don't get spoiled. Those actual theater spaces, they promise you so many
Mm,
things.
maybe. It's kind of nice.
All right, and that is August 12th and 13th at
7 p.m.
Yes.
7
and it's
p.m.
completely free. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
And it's about elementary school teachers.
And how the educational system doesn't focus on the students or the teachers or value their education and their process,
Yeah.
focusing all on test scores and numbers.
All
Yeah. And
right.
it takes place in Tucson, Arizona, which has a surprising amount of similarities to Oklahoma. So I think it fits into our community really well.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I am curious to see how this topic translates into musical.
It's fun. I think they've
Yeah.
done a great job, especially
Yeah.
because like elementary school teachers, they're just fun. So
Yeah.
I think there's something inherently performative about what elementary school teachers are doing, especially with very young children, that translates really well to musical theater, actually. Like, there's something that is kind of like musical theater acting about, like, trying to keep 5-year-olds entertained. Um, so that works really well. And then also, the show isn't like huge spectacle musical. It's like, um, I don't know. It's got a lot of heart, and I think that the three women that the story centers around, I don't know, like have opportunities in song to like express themselves in their inner lives, and then you see like the duality between what it's like to be the performative version of themselves in the classroom, and then their real selves outside of the classroom, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. Are there children involved in this as well?
not in this reading. There are kids in this musical, but not the actors,
Okay.
which is even more fun in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, I'm sure you guys have your hands full as it is coordinating travel of people from all over the country and getting the reading put together without also having to deal with children, which are their own complication.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't predict kids.
So, what has it been like putting this team together? How long has this been in the works?
I think we started talking about it in January when we were thinking about our season, and that's when it was presented to us through Diego, who's the dramaturg for the project, and then it just became a part of the season, and we've just been planning it since then. But they've been working on it for years.
Yeah. You just liked the proposal, said, great, we'll do it. Started,
Yeah,
hey, that's awesome.
yeah,
No fuss, no
Yeah, and it
muss.
also it seemed like a really fun challenge. Like, a musical is not really the normal purview of co-arts, but this one and this opportunity, and because of Diego's connection to it and his like deep believing in the project, it made a lot of sense.
Cool. Yeah, love it. Um, Yeah, do you have anything else you want to tease or plug about Palo Verde before we move on to your retrospective?
We will be having an opening night reception after our performance on Friday, um, with some little snacks, something to drink, just to celebrate. This is the last show of our summer season, to celebrate the team and everybody involved that got us through this summer.
And to thank everybody for helping us. I want to thank like everyone, like you and Jenny, and you know the whole Oklahoma arts community. That's kind of like helped us as through our growing pains and stuff. Yeah,
and it's also free.
And it's also free.
And you can hang out and we can chat. It'll be so much fun.
It'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
And maybe like talk to us, give us a little feedback, give us a little whatever thoughts you have, because I am curious from all the theater people what their thoughts are about this musical that's like in development.
Yeah, that is, I will advocate for, if anybody's on the fence about going, it is great to be able to be invited to give your feedback to artists and have them want it so that they can make their work better or different. Or yeah, it always gets dicey when you start saying better. Like, it implies something that I feel like theater artists or artists in general just need a better word for better. I'm digging a hole here. Feel free to throw me a bone.
No, I think one of the pillars of Co.Arts is that we're developing shows, and you can't really develop it if you keep the same people's eyes on it and only their perspective. And so something that we're focused on is that development sense of not only our work, but the arts community and the young artist community. And so having that feedback is essential to what we do. And I mean, we love conversation. We love talking about theater. So I don't want to always hear that like, oh, it was great and wonderful.
Yeah.
Because not everything is that great and wonderful. It's new work. There's issues with it that can be developed.
Yeah.
It feels like we're like little scientists and we're just like taking in data. We're taking in data, and some of the data is like, it's like on a bell curve. Some people love it, some people don't like it. Some people like remember specific things, some people don't. You just gotta like get as much information as possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. That's a great way of putting it. Thank you. Jenny and I are going to be there. So, I mean, that's another bonus. If you just want to talk to us about other theater or any theater you've ever seen.
Any theater. That's what this is
for. We're available. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing this show and chatting with you guys about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've completed your second full season. How'd you feel about it?
I think it went well.
I think it went well
compared to last year. The growth that we've gone through it's exponential. And we've learned so much. So that was awesome. Yeah. It makes us excited to start next season, which I think is a good sign that this season was successful, because we're not like, we're done, we're out.
Yeah, that's great. Are you going to use the same method of deciding this year, next year, as you did this year, with asking for submissions and that sort of process?
We're going to continue to do that. One of our goals is to also continue devising work, and similar with what we did with public comment, of finding those stories and writing them ourselves as well. And we also want to move into developing year-round, so that we're finding shows in the fall to work with the playwrights and find teams to start readings, so that by the time we get to summer, we have a solid set of plays that we're going to fully produce, and then another set that we've workshopped and like might not be ready, but we're still working with them. So that's our next stepping stone.
All right. Yeah, that's great. Moving on to that next level. Full production is definitely a different beast than staged readings.
Very much so.
Yeah. You got to keep the front burners running, and then we got to keep the back burners. I guess the back burners are there. The back burners also keep stuff going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be like a nice overlapping. You guys are always going to be busy developing, producing.
I think that we are always going to be busy. That's the promise that I'm
Yeah.
making to myself for the rest of my life.
Won't
Is
sleep.
that
Never.
we're
We can sleep
always going to
later.
be busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that yeah, they're like two different beasts, and that the like the front burner, like the shows that we're like doing a full production of right now and like fully committed to, versus the shows that we're like, this is so exciting and it's not ready and it's so perfect, or the playwright is like, it's not ready, I'm not ready, and like having the seeds of that stuff happening for like years or months or whatever, um, makes me feel like, I don't know, like it's gonna get easier as it goes along. So I don't mean to be like super Debbie Downer about us always being busy, because
No,
I do think it's getting easier. Like the first season was harder than this season, even though we're kind of doing more stuff.
yeah, it will find a schedule and a process and organization that works for our team. Because right now we have four of us and we all are very different organizational styles, communication styles. So as we move on, we're learning how to work with each other better, which is going to make everything a lot easier for everybody.
And we also have so many more wonderful people in the Oklahoma arts community who are like helping us, and also so many artists that are like becoming really great collaborators and actors and playwrights. And so like the 4-person team feels a lot bigger than it used to. It feels like we have our little collective that it kind of like molds to whatever it needs to be.
Yeah, it's great. I love the optimism. Wasn't trying to play downer at all either. I just know that as somebody who also runs a theater company, it can get overwhelming, and I'm just making sure you guys are keeping on, because we don't want you to go away. It's great having
you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
being here.
Yeah. I don't want to put you on blast or anything, but is there some takeaway that you have from this last season that you want to warn future producers about, or that you just want to be sure you remember yourselves, so that in a year when you watch this video and think, oh, what was such a big deal at the time that we've forgotten about?
I think a question that I was talking to someone about, they came to see one of our shows and I asked them for feedback. And one of the things they asked me about our season and our shows in general is, who are you serving? And I think that question kind of needs to always be at the forefront of our selection, our season, our mission statement of who are we serving, and is this serving the audience? Is it serving the playwright? Especially if we're so focused on development, and working with the artist, making sure it's serving them, and then when we bring it into production, serving the artists in that production, and then how is this show serving our community? I think that is the biggest thing that I will always now ask myself before committing to a project, committing to develop or work on something.
I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
That is the answer. What is the point? It has to have a really good point. It has to have like a mission and a purpose that's like bigger than, I don't know, just telling the story, or just, it has to have something that feels more, I don't know, like connected to the universe and like making things better. Yeah, for me. And I think that, yeah, doing stuff like public comment for co-arts is like, makes it all feel worth it, I guess. And same with Palo Verde, like there's something like in the heart of it that, yeah, the answer is what you said. It's got to serve the community.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great takeaway. Do you have any highlights from the season that you want to mention?
I think there are two highlights. Our first readings that we did, yeah, that was exciting. We did the stage readings of American Realism by Devin Rickliff and Safakana by Taylor Yancey. And I remember it was kind of a hot mess at our tech, and then someone tested positive for COVID. Like it was a mess. But in the opening night performance, we had like a full house, and there was like a moment in Safakana where there's lots of music in it, and they were just like all singing, and the audience was having a great time, and I was like, wow, I think that's a big highlight for me. And then personally, I directed the process. Um, and so that whole thing was a highlight for me. It was a good time.
Yeah, I think my highlight is Beasley's face after closing
Mm-hmm.
night of Safakana. They directed the show, and yeah, I don't know. That felt really crazy. There was so much going on. Everybody was finishing out schools. It was like finals week when we were
People were
starting our
graduating.
people were graduating. It was insane. It was an insane decision that we made to do it at that time, but we needed the people to be here, and so sort of like everything was coming crashing down, and then like it worked, and we finished, and it was such a massive success, and such like felt like we like defeated a Goliath in a way, because I don't know, yeah, and that show is really special to me, and yeah, really beautiful.
Yeah, that first step is a big one.
And I figure if that was if that was the hardest part of our season, was just getting over that, and then we were in a clear.
Yeah, very cool. All right. Upcoming, Co.Arts is producing a show at Theater Crude Fringe. So that's something to be super excited about, right?
I think so. I really, really love this script, and the story. It's East London, 1936.
Yes.
Yes. But it's a story about a Jewish community coming together and standing up against fascism. So it's just awesome. And Jake Allen, the playwright,
killer, an absolute
amazing,
killer,
genius. Yeah. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's called The Battle of Cable Street.
Great.
And it's in the style of epic theater. It's big, it's bold, it's exciting. It's not like normal realistic theater at all. It's very stylized.
Okay. Casts of thousands played by casts of tens.
Yes. Hats, changing hats,
yes. Jackets, mustaches. Who knows?
Hair pieces, toupees,
wigs.
Brilliant.
Mostly projections.
Mostly projections. All right. All right. That is a whole other skill in and of itself. Designing projection is, that takes some talents.
We have to shout out Tony Wilkinson and Morgan Simone. Tony is like an amazing technical theater designer extraordinaire who helps us through literally everything we could not do. He has a skill set that none of us have, and he is truly amazing, and he will be designing these projections.
He will.
And then Morgan, of course.
I think Morgan is like, he keeps us positive and like moving forward when we're all like, it's burning, and he's like, it's actually not.
It's gonna be fine.
Reminds us that it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know.
Yeah.
Morgan is the fire extinguisher that just comes out, or maybe he's not even the fire extinguisher. He's just really good at putting lampshades on things and telling you to ignore them for a while.
Yeah. What he also doesn't necessarily do that. He's always like, he asks the right questions. You know, he gets you in the right headspace, and then he's like, let's interrogate. Let's see how we can move forward. He's a good collaborator.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you guys have a great team. I am frequently jealous of the collaboration you guys have going on. But
join the collective.
Join the collective.
We're doing all we can. We go hang out with you guys. We give you the feedback that we can. You come up to the festival. You hang out with us. We're working. We're shaking.
As far as I'm concerned, you're in the collective.
Yeah.
That's like our little motto, or at least like right when we started out, we were like, join the collective today, which is kind of corny, but it means the world to me. Like that,
I love
that sentiment of like, we're all the collective. It's like not just the four of us, it's everybody that wants to be in it, that is like willing to give their time and energy. So you're in, whether you want to or not. You've already given too much time and energy.
Hey, is the call for people joining the collective still out there? Is there a place people can go to get on your mailing list, give you art, be a part of creating? Where do they go? What do they do?
Our website is coartsproductions.com, And then all of our socials are Co.Arts Pro, which you can send us an email, like fill out the little contact form on our thing, send us a DM, whatever works for you. Or if you know any of us, also, obviously, just reach out. But yeah, we are going to open submissions relatively soon, or at least publicize them. If anybody wants to submit their script right now, they can, for next season, because we're going to start looking at that stuff in the coming months. But yeah, always kind of open, always open to ideas and collaborators. If anybody wants to be like, I would love to fold programs for you, I would be like, oh my God,
come on down,
get over here. Yeah.
Yeah, folding programs is a real treat. I don't know if anyone watching this has ever done it before, but if you haven't, that is primo opportunity. It's just so satisfying.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Do you have programs that need to be stapled as well? Those big staplers with the wide open mouths?
No, we're not there yet.
We would never use that much paper.
No.
Now you're making me feel bad. We've got a festival program that's like pages on pages.
No,
but that stapler is so nice. You just get it, all the pages lined up, and then you get to like put that crease in it. Simple pleasures.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Theater Crude coming up so soon?
Oh, it's great. This is the fun part. This is when everything goes crazy, and we get to announce new things pretty much every single day. There are so many companies. I think there are 17 companies participating this year, which is awesome. 5 of them are virtual films that we're going to screen. We're actually going to invite everybody to come to Jewelbox to watch these virtual productions all in the same place at the same time, instead of just having them up on the internet to be sort of forgotten about.
That's great.
Yeah. Super exciting. All the announcements coming through my pencil across the room. That's how excited I am.
Contain yourself.
Let's see here. So we talked about Palo Verde. That's Friday and Saturday, the 12th and 13th of August. Free, 7 p.m., Sooner Theater in Norman. Hang out for opening night reception afterwards on Friday. Share your opinions.
Please.
You guys survived a season, came out stronger, ready to do some more, and you're going to be presenting Battle of Cable Street at the Fringe Festival in September.
Yeah.
Sorted.
You've got it. You've got it all.
They know where to reach us, how to contact us.
Yeah.
We're very chill people.
Yeah.
Yes. If you send us a DM, we'll respond to that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to include down in the description below this video all the links to every way to contact you. I should have all of that information since you're in the festival.
Yeah.
So I can put that in there.
Yeah.
So everyone be sure to check that stuff out. I don't know. You got anything else you want to talk about? Can't guarantee it'll land in the final edit. We've been going about, I don't know, 24 minutes at this point, but who knows? We've got time.
We mentioned public comment quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think we'll give a quick description of what that was. And then if anyone has any ideas or wants to like work on something like that, reach out to us. But public comment was the show that we did with you last year. That started out as a class project with 4 of us. We were in a class called Theater and Social Change. Morgan and I were we got an A on the project, so thank you.
This is when I miss having hair. I love that move. I wish I could do that.
You can still do it. You can do it. You can always do it.
Everyone will know what you're doing. If you just do the flick, you're good.
You got it.
Yeah.
But we wanted to experiment with documentary theater, and in the name of like Anna Devere Smith, that's what inspired it. And so we went and we talked to people in our community about the crazy politics and defunding the police and all those debates that were happening. And we sifted through like hundreds of hours of public comment sections at town meetings, and we put it together in a little lovely 30-ish minute piece, 35-minute piece, and brought it to you. And it was one of the most fulfilling projects that I've worked on, and so that's what we want to continue working on in the future. So if anybody has any ideas, stories that they want to do that with, DM us, email us, tell us what you want.
Yeah, those stories are out there. They're just hard to find. So if you've got one, share.
Exactly. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this, genuinely.
Yeah.
No, thank you as well. It is always great to have an excuse to reconnect with everybody that I know around town. I know we're all crazy busy artists constantly producing things. So the fact that I have an excuse to pencil people in and say, no, you're going to sit down and talk to me for a little while is nice. This is a very selfish thing that I do, but I'm glad you enjoy it as well.
We love it.
We love it.
All right.
Perfect.
Cool. I still haven't perfected the sign off, so
You want to make one up right now?
You got ideas? This is the normal one. Bye, and then I press the button.
Yeah. You gotta like go on TikTok and like do some research, some like field research about like something like, I don't know. You're not into it.
I usually salute, but if you wave with one hand and exit with the other hand, we don't have like the, that'd be right to make it a little smoother. Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta wave with one hand and press the button with the other.
Yep.
See how well this works. Okay, bye.